Hey everyone, tonight I am going to be chatting all things travel and particularly Florida with a couple who are much loved in the UK Disney Florida community. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I hope you are too. So let's get on with it. Yeah, hi guys. Welcome to Your Florida Adventures, the show where we talk travel and we chat to our guests about their love of Florida. We find out their likes, their dislikes, and their hints and tips to help you plan your next Florida trip. My name is Lewis, and I will be your host for the next 60 minutes or so. And first and foremost, I am a Florida fan, and I've been to Florida many times before, and I love Florida so much that I actually set up my own business called Your Great Adventures, and we specialize in Florida and the USA. And as a fan, I love to chat to my fellow fans about their love of Florida and what makes them go back year after year, in a hope that I will learn something new. So let's be honest, traveling to Florida is daunting even for a regular. So each week I will be chatting to some brilliant guests, and I have done in the past. So please do check those out to find out their hints and tips to help you plan your next Florida trip. If you have been to Florida loads of times or you are looking to plan your first ever trip, I know there will be something in these shows for you. If you're watching live, thank you. Welcome. Great to see you. Please join in with the conversation. Please do ask some questions to our guests. That would be awesome. These guys definitely will have lots of great stories to tell. So do get your comments in the chat box, and I'm just going to go to that shortly, or right now, in fact. Let's check out who is in. Hello, Claire. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Evie. Hello, Facebook user. If you're a Facebook user, please let StreamYard know who you are, and I can give you a shout out if you want one. Hi, Catherine, and hi, Danny. And I'm sure there'll be lots of other people joining us as we go through the evening. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my guests. Like I have said, these guys are very much loved and respected in the UK Disney community. Now, I've speak to every guest that I've spoken to after the show. I've asked, who would you think would be really good to come on the show and talk about their love of Florida? And these guys have been the most recommended. So I am very much looking forward to this. Having spoken to them just a couple of times, they are absolutely lovely. So please do give it up. And now I'm going to have to move my cursor here for Vicky and Rich. Tinkertails. Hey guys.
Oh, I got a little tear there with that introduction. I was that's so sweet.
The bridesmaid.
Yeah, we send your checks in the post, guys.
Thank you very much. Yes, made out to Your Florida Adventures. That's fine. So our Facebook users are Disney Grown-Ups. So hi, Disney Grown-Ups.
Hi, how you doing, Gary?
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us this evening. I think I might be asking them to come on the show at some point, so if you're up for that, that'd be awesome. Mr. Perrin is saying, I'm loving the wallpaper. I think that's for you. That's definitely not for me.
It's not wallpaper, it's painted. I hand painted this.
Wow. Check you. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't never do it again.
How long did that take you?
About a week. Yeah. And wow. Lots of tears and lots of stress, but it looks all right now.
Well, it looks amazing. I've got to tell you, it does look incredible. So my system's already playing up. Here we go. Yes, Claire is saying hi, Vicky and Rich. Gary and Dawn are saying hi, Vicky and Rich. So, yeah, got some people on and saying with that now. So, for those of people that don't know you, and like I say, I met you sort of over the phone for the first time last night. Tell us about Vicky and Rich.
So we've been together 2007 we got together, which is incidentally when we first went to Florida together. We'd only been together for 6 months. So we met while we were both working for Haven Holidays. So I was working as a fun star, which is their version of a red coat, and Rich was working in the bars in the complex.
Yep.
And we started dating. And then they decided that they needed to rearrange all the living accommodations. And because they found out we were dating, we suddenly were living together after only been together for about 3 weeks.
If that, yeah.
If that.
Oh, wow.
And then when I finished my season and moved back to London, because he lives in North Wales, with this Haven Holidays was in North Wales, he followed me home. And I've not really been able to get rid of him since.
I've been trying.
It's been trying.
Keep asking.
He's still here.
Divorce papers are in the corner. Just not sign them.
No. I'll get rid of me that easy.
I don't believe that at all, Rich. I don't believe that. I've seen your vlogs. I've seen them. So yeah, okay, fair enough. So Del is in the house, Mr. Campbell, and the Get Binky group is complete with Jen. So that's awesome. Oh, and I don't know what, but there you go. Del's laughing for some reason. There you go. So Haven's holiday camp. Tell us a bit about you guys before you met. Then are you hail from different parts of the country, right?
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Twickenham. I'm English. He's Welsh. That's always fun.
The Six Nations. She can't mention that bit being up here anymore.
No, I'm not allowed to support rugby anymore. But yeah, I was born and raised in Twickenham. I grew up with aspirations to be a performer and a dancer. I went to, did all the dance lessons growing up. And then when I was 17, I was diagnosed with leukemia, which kind of put all my sort of plans for the future changed. So instead of going to drama college and drama school, I ended up just working. So I did the rounds at theme parks and holiday parks as a performer and an entertainer and a presenter. And then, bumped into this dude. And the rest, as they say, is YouTube history.
Yeah, indeed it is. And Rich, what about you?
So I grew up where we are now, sort of North Wales, like half hour down the road. Went to uni up here, used to work at a zoo. In my university years, I went to the States for a year, studied over there, where I did my first trip to Disney, much to this one's disgust, because I've been more times than she has. Come back, finished uni and started working at Haven. Did a couple of years at Haven, then met her in 2007, where I moved down to London, having broke my back during the summer season. So
wow, we're a really healthy couple.
Yeah, I fractured my spine, so moved down to London while I was doing all the physio and stuff, and did temp work, and couldn't get back until just now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So these are bombshells that I was not expecting so early on.
You're welcome.
No, but just look at you guys now. So Vicky, we were just talking a bit before about the cancer. How was that like for you at such an early age?
Oh, it was hell. Like, there's no way to put it any other way. It was awful, but I can 100% say it's made me who I am today. I don't want to think about what I would have been if I hadn't have had that experience in my life, because I was a bratty child. I was a whingy, lazy pain in the butt as a child. And although I am still many of those things, I do it now with a different outlook on life.
Just about to see
Wow.
pop up in the bottom.
My mum will be saying that. Yeah, she's still all those things.
And how and what was that kind of road to recovery like, you know, for you? I mean, thank goodness that you were able to. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still on that road to recovery, I would say. I don't think it ever ends with something like leukemia. It has affected so much of my like just general body in that, you know, I'm 35 and have practically got arthritis and stuff, things that you wouldn't expect. I think that's a lot of things that people don't think about with cancer, is they think once you're cured, but there's a lot of long-term, you know, kind of effects of that. So I'm still dealing with that. I still deal with some of the aspects of like sort of trauma that I went through during that period, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't have not gone through that, because it's definitely brought me to where I am today and the person that I am today. So it's all good.
Wow. Well, what an inspiration you are. And wow. And thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate your openness and honesty. And I know you've said that you've talked about that in your vlogs before, but you know, it's different when you're kind of in a different environment. So I appreciate you saying that. And Rich, for you and your injury, what's the kind of repercussions of that been for you?
I was in physio for about 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
About 2 years with physio. I got really lucky with the sort of break that I had. It was a stable wedge fracture. To be fair, I don't think we realised it was broken until about 6 months after.
No, we actually went to Florida with him having a broken back. And we went to Busch Gardens, and he couldn't get off Gwazi because we were right at the back of it. And obviously it's a wooden roller coaster. It's quite jarring, and he couldn't get off afterwards. That's when we thought, maybe there is something quite seriously wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
They did all the hospital stuff, and they didn't pick her up. Went back like just before Christmas, and they put me through the MRI stuff. Oh yeah, there's 2 vertebrae have fractured. So here we go and get this sorted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, loads of people like people are on here are going well with me. It's like, whoa. I'm lost for words, really. I am. I just like, you know, what do we say now? But I think I was a bit like that.
I think I was a bit like that when I
oh, right,
it's also
sorry.
Yeah.
So Dell's saying what the heck and on Gwazi. So
Oops.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. That must have been agony.
There was lots of good painkillers.
Yeah. I just remember being like, oh, come on, stop being such a girl. And then he was like, actually, it's broken. I was like, my bad. Oh.
Yeah. I bet there was some sympathy then, mate.
No. No.
I cancer. Come on.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. You both, you know. You've both been through it, so that's fair enough. That's fair. So let's leave that behind a little bit and talk about your Florida experiences. Now we've already heard that you've had a Florida experience with a broken back. I mean, man, wow. But so let's talk about your first trip to Florida. But Rich, you said that you had already been pre to you both going together.
Yeah. So when I was studying out in Florida, I had like 6 months left of my visa left to burn, and just got my student loan payment in like the February for the next summer season. Their school summer season finishes in May, so I used the student loan installment to take 2 weeks down in Florida, and stopped in a Howard Johnson, I think, in Kissimmee. I just spent 2 weeks at Disney, not really knowing much about the parks. I knew the theme parks were there, and just went as let's go to Disney. So yeah.
And can you remember what that was like for you in, when was that, 2005?
Yeah, 2005. Yeah, so I don't remember much of it because at that point, I didn't know what to expect. It was just a theme park, a really cool theme park, but didn't know what to look for and what to expect going. If you go for your first time now, you know what you're walking into. You know what Main Street's going to be like. But back then, 2005, crowds were next to nothing.
You didn't have like YouTube videos really, so that you would, scope out and what was going on. So it wasn't, the only thing I knew about Walt Disney World growing up was what I saw on the telly, like adverts and stuff. Yeah. So it's not as widely known about back then. Yeah,
so it's just it was a very cool, very warm theme park, and I had a bit of fun. Basically.
And he won't let me do a solo trip to catch up.
Well, okay. Well, I can understand that a little bit, but I don't think I'd be very happy if Catherine went off. Not that she would never do it, but like if and she would never let me go on a solo trip. But there you go.
Yeah. I didn't even know she existed, and she holds it against me that I've been more times than she has, and I never knew she existed.
Doesn't matter.
So, hey,
well, I'm sure. I'm sure that in some way or shape or form that you can make up for it somehow. But
go Blackpool.
That's the same.
So both of you went in 2007. I mean, Rich, did you fall in love with like Walt Disney World at that point, or was it just, as you say, was it just another theme park?
It was just a theme park. I think when we were like looking for our end of season holiday that a lot of people did on holiday parks, it was you that was really the pressing, I want to go to Florida, always want to go to Florida. And I think 2007 when we went, bear in mind we were getting paid what, 150, 200 £200 a fortnight.
About three. I was on about £325 a fortnight back then.
It was a very cheap and cheerful. But I think what did they pay for the holiday? $4.99 each, flights, hotel.
Nice.
A couple of £100 for the tickets. I think the whole holiday cost us less than $1,500.
Yeah, it wasn't an expensive holiday.
Wow.
I
And
think,
it was definitely me because I was a theme park nut growing up. Like I was obsessed with Thorpe Park and Chessington and Alton Towers, like obsessed. I worked at Thorpe Park and Chessington growing up, and I was just wanting to go because I'd heard all about these amazing rides from friends, and I thought that's got to be like the place to go for theme parks. So that was why I wanted to push for it. And like it's kind of a thing at Haven Parks at the end of the season, you kind of go away like with the money that you kind of save up, because although you only get paid like 350 quid back then,
there was no
rent. The only bill I paid was my car insurance and my mobile phone. That was it. I had nothing else. So you managed to save up a fair bit, and I was desperate to go. So we just kind of searched around, found a really good deal. We were staying in the Quality Inn, which is on the 192 in Kissimmee.
That
was the most basic of hotels. It wasn't even called the Quality Inn then; it was called Masters Inn, wasn't it? Yeah. It's changed names since.
We had the police turn up.
It wasn't the nicest of hotels. It had a pool that was not heated, and even in Florida, pools should be heated. It didn't have a restaurant or anything, and you only had like shuttles to the parks once a day.
Well, it was only Disney shuttles.
Yeah, it was only Disney. We had to pay to taxi fares to get to the other parks, but it was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
simple. Back in the much simpler times where you could just go, you didn't have to think about fast pass and dining reservations and park passes. Now it was so simple.
I mean, I don't really remember those days particularly. I mean, I remember going in. I know that I went in 1999, but I can't really remember the ins and outs of it. So all I can remember now is, as you say, fast passes or running for fast passes,
Yeah.
you know, booking ADRs, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's certainly you need it's a different world now. It is a different Disney World now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I remember going in 2007. We tried to get into Tony's.
Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't have a clue, because you did still need, for certain restaurants back then, you did need to have reservations, but we didn't know about that. So we rocked up one evening at Tony's Town Square restaurant. I wouldn't recommend it. We have eaten there since. I wouldn't recommend it. But we rocked up like just after the parade, didn't we? And we were like, "You got a table for two?" And they just looked at us like we'd crawled out of the sewer. They were like, "No." We were like, "Oh, all right." We didn't know.
Yeah. No, well, no. And that's the learning curve, isn't it? Really, from all of your trips. So before we carry on, I've just got a few things I just want to highlight. You've probably seen them in the chat anyway. But Jen says, "Love you guys and can't wait to be at a theme park with you guys at some point." So that's cool. Claire said I might have used her student name to go to the world as well.
Yes, Claire.
I never had a student loan, otherwise I probably would have done too. Danny is saying that he would love to do a solo trip, but his life wouldn't be worth living. I think Nikki would probably not be particularly happy. But yeah, so Claire, she has had 3 days on our trip on her own and absolutely loved it. So anyway, I know that's probably happened, but I just thought I'd share that. Oh, hang on. Nice, my things keep moving up. So, right, here we go. So, going back to your first visit, what do you remember the most about that trip? Was it the attractions?
I think that first trip, although like I kind of walked in and was like, wow, like I remember the first time seeing the castle, the first time seeing Spaceship Earth, and the Sorcerer's Hat, because that's what was in Hollywood Studios at the time, and like the Tree of Life, like the icons, and just being like, oh my goodness, this is the best theme park ever. But it was, I was mainly focused on the rides. Rich, like, it's nothing like I am now, but back then Rich would be like, come on, let's stay and watch the fireworks. I'd be like, no, rides. Come on, let's go meet a character. No, rides. Like, that was all I was interested in back then.
But I think all our holidays have been a different focus.
Yeah, they've evolved over the years to like focus on different aspects each time we go. So the rides now is not as important to us as it was like back then. I mean, because the rides you have there, in comparison to like the rides and the theming that we have in the UK, there is no comparison really. It's so immersive, and yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've told this story before, but we went to my very first time, which was in 1987. I was 13 years old, and we went to a place called Broad. You were 3.
I was 2 actually.
You were 2. Okay, brilliant. So we went to a park called Boardwalk and Baseball, or Boardwalk and Baseball. Sorry, I always say Broadwalk. I get told off. Boardwalk and Baseball. It's not there. Don't look for it. I think it lasted about 3 years, and it was very similar to our theme parks back then. So Alton Towers or whatever. There was no theming. There was no real kind of thrill rides or anything like that, and it was quite stark for understanding how actually Disney was in comparison to our home parks, you know. And how did you, as a theme park nut, how did you see that comparison, and how did you feel about that comparison?
Oh, it just made Thorpe Park look dirty. It's like you come back and you go to like, I mean, I have to say that some, like, our theme parks are getting slightly better with the work that they're doing. You look at some of the newer attractions like Wicker Man and you know, Swarm, especially over at Thorpe and Soar. They are better, but they're like standalone little pockets of theming. There's no like flow into them. They're just there. And as much as they are getting better, there is just no comparison. You know, Thorpe Park just looks grimy. And when you go there now, you know, it's not pretty to look at. You know, anywhere you look in Disney, it's fairly pretty to look at. You know, it's just the attention to detail is beyond compare.
Yeah. So now you've been your first time. Is that when the bug kicks in? Is that when the love kicks in?
For me, yeah. I think because when we went the first time, although we experienced a lot, we came back from it thinking, well, we didn't do that and we didn't see that. And why didn't we meet those characters? And why didn't we watch all the fireworks shows? And I was just like, there's so much more to do.
I think we booked pretty quick.
We booked, yeah, we did, because we actually had a trip booked for the year after.
Yeah.
So, you know, we booked with Travel City Direct for 2008, pretty much, I think, the day we got back. And then, unfortunately, 3 weeks before that holiday was due to go out, XL Airways went bust and took Travel City Direct down with them. So that holiday never happened. So, yeah, then we waited a little while, didn't we? Because price,
2 years.
Yeah, well, we went 2010, didn't we? So it was 3 years from our first trip. But yeah, we then decided to wait and try and like maybe book a slightly better trip than like the dirt cheap trip that we had the first time.
Yeah, I love the fact that you've mentioned Travel City Direct. We must have used them 2 or 3 times in the late 2000s, because they were part of Virgin, weren't they? At some point, I remember Virgin took them over after the
yeah.
So and they that was one of the trips we used them for a trip in 2013 actually, and I remember going. Again, I've mentioned this before. Old Key West. There were 6 of us in a 2-bedroom villa in Old Key West. Food, full dining plan, tickets, everything, flights, 2 weeks, and it was like 10 grand or something. Which, you know, you think about it now, you'd never get it. You won't get ever like 4 of you for in I don't know, All Stars for 10 grand now. So well, not in the school holidays anyway. So which is when we've got to go. So I'm going to right. So guys, if you've got any questions for these guys, sorry, I should be a bit more succinct on that, shouldn't I? So guys who are watching, if you have any questions for Vicky and Rich, please do put them in. And in the meantime, I'm going to share my screen a little bit. And you don't know what photos I'm going to show here, do you?
No.
This could be interesting. So I think is this quite an early photo?
I think that's got to be 2010 or 2012. That's 2012 because that's when we did the Segway tour that year.
Yes.
And it was that T-shirt that they picked out on when we did the Segway tour. Yeah.
Because it's the same colour as the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I was so silly.
I did. I told you I've been stalking you. Right. So hang on. So there's some questions coming in. This one, they were connected to Thomas Cook in the end. I think you're talking about Travel City Direct. I'm not sure about that, Claire. I always thought they were part of Virgin. But I don't know whether you guys know.
They were taken over when XL went bust and Travel City went bust the first time. They were then taken over by Virgin, as far as I'm aware.
I think they took like the cheap, like £500-600 hotels from the Virgin main site and put them into Travel City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, I remember using them a couple of times, and so how many times have you been on the Haunted Mansion?
Oh, it's got to be up in the hundreds.
Yeah.
We say this that every time we go, that seems to be one of the rides. That and Buzz Lightyear is like the rides that we do most often. And it's the same at Disneyland Paris as well. It's just like one of our go-to rides. We love Haunted Mansion. Yeah. I can't get enough of it.
So is that your favourite ride attraction?
No, it's not mine. My favourite's Splash Mountain.
I think it's probably mine.
It is probably yours, but it's up there. It's definitely top 5 for me. It's legendary. Love it.
What's your favourite park and why? There's a couple of people have asked this.
Mine's got to be Epcot.
Yeah, I'd say yours is Epcot.
Yeah, almost specifically World Showcase. Just mooching round and mooching.
I think mine's Magic Kingdom. It used to be Hollywood Studios or MGM Studios as it was back in the day. That has changed. The last couple of times we've been to Hollywood Studios, I've really not enjoyed myself as much. But yeah, I think it's definitely Magic Kingdom. It's just where the magic is. It's everywhere you look. There is, nods to Walt and the Imagineering that's gone into it, and just classic attractions. You just get that feel the second you walk underneath that train station. It's like that warm, cuddly feeling. I love it.
When you go into Magic Kingdom, do you have a preferred entrance?
Oh, you broke a bit there, Lewis. Can you say it again?
Yeah, sure. So when you go into Magic Kingdom, do you go like left or right? Do you have a preference on which side you go into?
We tend to go right, I think, don't we, to Tomorrowland first. That tends to be the way we go.
I think we always go into the right as well, and up to like Mickey's, like the town hall that way.
Yeah, I think that's generally the way we go.
In through the right
and then straight up past the bakery.
Yeah,
and Starbucks.
Too right. I mean, I only thought about that question the other day because I was thinking we tend to always go in the left-hand side. I don't know why. Just naturally, we tend to go into the left-hand side. But I did hear it was Danny. We were talking the other day. Danny and I were talking, and Andy Robson. We were saying about when you get to the hub, do you turn left or do you turn right?
I think we go right.
So yeah, we go right.
Which one would you do?
The same argument as on World Showcase when you go, do you start at Canada or do you start at Mexico? And some people are very particular about which way they go.
I mean, so we discovered that a lot of people, a lot of the Americans go left because they drive on the left, but the Brits, they tend to go right because we drive on the right. I think that's the right way.
Yeah.
So just a fun fact there, people. Just a fun fact. There were some more questions coming in. I just need to find them. What is your must-do restaurant?
Oh, we've got a couple, haven't we? We didn't really start doing table service until our last trip. We'd done a couple here and there, but the last trip was the first time we were on the dining plan. So when we really made use of like table service. But for me, it would either be Garden Grill or 1900 Park Fair are like my two favourite restaurants.
My favourite's got to be Park Fair or Garden Grill?
Garden Grill.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't enjoy Garden Grill as much last time we were there. No, they do little changes to the menu. Last time that wasn't. I didn't enjoy it as much.
I still loved it. The character interaction you get at Garden Grill always seems to be some of the best you get anywhere. I mean, anywhere you can meet Chip and Dale is always a bonus for me. So yeah, but you're a big fan of the Cellier, aren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, steakhouse.
Yeah, but it's just the price of that.
Yeah.
Is it worth it sometimes?
Yeah, very cool. Very cool indeed. I've never been to Le Cellier. I must admit, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I'd very much like to go there. I will say, because I think we have quite a delay going on now, so I do apologise for that. But hopefully we'll get through this okay without talking over you too much. So let's carry on, shall we? Okay, so you're a big Disneyland Paris as well. I've seen a number of vlogs for Disneyland Paris. So, what attractions at Disneyland Paris are better than Walt Disney World? Is there any that you have in mind?
Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
Thunder Mountain is definitely better. I would say Small World is better at Disneyland Paris.
Paris has got Casey Jr.
Yeah, Casey Jr. train, which they do have at Disneyland, but not at Walt Disney World. Tower of Terror, controversial as it is, since they did a reboot of Tower of Terror at Disneyland Paris, I would say that is better than Walt Disney World's one, which is a very controversial option. The rest are all pretty samey. I mean, Space Mountain.
They're two different rides.
You can't really compare them. They're two completely different rides. I would always say that Walt Disney World's, I prefer Walt Disney World's than I do Paris. And again, that's quite controversial. But it all depends what you're into, really.
So I'm just moving this on a little bit because I'm purely showing this picture for my daughter. Evie, my daughter, loves Lotso. She's 15 now, but we bought her a Lotso when she was probably about 10 or 11. I think it was her second Lotso. And she still, I'm sorry, Evie, if your friends are watching this, but she still packs it in her bag wherever she goes. So Lotso is her absolute favourite.
I think the first time we met Lotso, we had
yes. So I just thought I'd put that in. But this is sorry, carry on.
I thought the first time we met Lotso, we hadn't seen the film.
We didn't realise
it was evil.
Yeah, we didn't realise he was a bad guy. I was like, I hugged him.
He's definitely it's a weird one, isn't it? Really, it's a weird character choice, but it does kind of work. So but yes, she does love Lotso despite his evil ways. So there you go. There's a couple of people saying, what's your favorite place outside away from the parks? Do you have anything specific that you'd like to do away from the parks?
Shopping. I like to go to the outlets. We haven't really done many places outside of the parks.
No.
We tend to kind of focus on doing them because we try and pack as much into a trip as we can. So we don't really have a lot of time. I know it's probably quite sad to say, but we haven't really done any. I mean, a theme park. One of our absolute favourite places is Discovery Cove. Kennedy Space Center as well. We really enjoy that. So yeah, we've done a couple of places, but we've not really explored the outer regions of Florida yet.
Dale says that Lotso smells of strawberries. Sorry, I will come back to your points on the other things that you've done. But does that Lotso smell of strawberries?
You did, yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. So let's talk a little bit about your additional trips, because you mentioned Kennedy Space Center, and I know that you did that in 2012 because I watched a couple of your vlogs today. And have you been to Kennedy Space Center since then, or have you done other things outside the main parks in your trips since then?
So we did Kennedy again in 2015.
Yeah.
Because we weren't planning on doing it, but then they'd just done the New Atlantis exhibition when the shuttles had all kind of come home. So that's why we did that. But we tend to try and alternate between maybe like Kennedy Space Center and Busch Gardens. We also did in 2015, we went to the Police Memorial Museum, which is just down the road from Kennedy Space Center, and was a really interesting place to go. They had like a big kind of crime museum and things like that, and a really beautiful sort of memorial area for fallen police officers. That was a really moving place to go to, wasn't it? Yeah, we enjoyed that.
Very, very cool. And did you know that was there, or did you kind of find that by accident?
I was actually told about it by one of my colleagues, because at the time I was working in police custody. as a detention officer, and one of my sergeants had actually been there and told me about it. So I looked it up, and yeah, if you work for the police, you can get in. I think it was like $2 or something. You could get in for. So yeah, we thought we'd give it a go, as it was I think like 10 minutes away from Kennedy.
Yeah,
If that. It was close to where the Astronaut Hall of Fame used to be. So yeah, it was a different place to go. Really nice.
Definitely. Well, that's a really good thing, because I know that there will be other police people who work with the police that'd be quite interested in that, an opportunity to go. I never knew that was there, so thank you so much for sharing that with us all, and something for everybody to kind of look out for if they sort of head down towards Kennedy, and then they can do something else additional. It's really lovely thing for you to share. So thank you so much for sharing that. So when you're in the parks, what's the kind of most recent time that you were in the parks?
So our last trip was October, November 2018.
Yeah,
was our most recent trip.
Okay. Does that feel like a lifetime ago?
Oh, it feels like forever ago. It's it's just, yeah, I just want to be back. Oh, I love that picture.
It was such a great one, and you've got some really awesome like special photos, magic moment photos. I can't really remember what they're called off the top of my head now. I was trying to think of what it was earlier.
Magic shots.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. But yes, so this is obviously the photo that we used pretty much for your advert. But let's talk about, as you're standing outside Gaston's. Let's talk about something that is close to my heart, which is food. And we've already sort of mentioned your favorite restaurants, which I'm so glad you said Garden Grill, because like that Garden Grill at breakfast is just like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I'd just go there day after day if I could, to be honest with you. So what does a typical day look like for you guys? And when you kind of fit in snacks and stuff, where do you tend to go?
Oh, we're bad with snacks.
Yeah.
we are bad with snacks. We're we are go hard or go home.
Yeah.
When we go to Florida, especially in the Disney parks. If there's early extra magic hours, we are there for as long as we can kind of manage. We might take a little break in the day, but then we'll be straight back and there till park close. We try to pack as much in as we can. But snack wise, I am a fan of a cinnamon roll. I've never had the Gaston's Tavern one though. I tend to just go for the Starbucks ones. You're a big fan of Dole Whip.
Yeah, gotta have a Dole Whip.
Gotta have a Dole Whip. But yeah, when we were on the dining plan last time, we actually ended up converting our quick service meals, because we were rubbish with quick service meals as well, in snack credits. And 2 days before the end of holiday, we had more snack credits at the end of the holiday than we had started with at the beginning of the holiday, and ended up just going to
64 snack credits.
Yeah, we had like 64 snack credits for the last 2 days. We just went to the Goofy Candy Kitchen and just loaded up on that kind of stuff. But we don't tend to snack.
No.
We tend to have a lot of drinks. Like we'll go and get like floats or smoothies or frozen colas or frozen lemonades, rather than eat a lot.
I have my frozen bananas.
Yeah.
I love the frozen bananas in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, but we tend to have like a big meal. Like, we'll share a meal at lunch and then have a big meal in the evening. Yeah, I really want to try the Gaston cinnamon roll. It's on my list. I've got a list.
Gaston cinnamon. Is that? And I think this one's for you.
Hi, Mum. Hi, Dad.
I don't know if you've seen this pop up, but there you go. There's I want to make you cry from Dell.
Back at you, dude. Love you.
So there you go. That's thrown me that message. Very nice. So I think you should definitely get to Gaston's when you next go, guys. It's I'm going to be honest. The cinnamon roll, the roll is not as good as the Garden Grill roll at breakfast. I'm just throwing it out there, but it's still fairly decent. So definitely go with that. There's another magic shop for you. That's a pretty cute one. You've had quite a lot of that I've never seen before. So these are awesome.
You tend to go hunting them, don't you?
We used to scope them out before they weren't. I mean, when we used to go 2010, they were like a secret thing, like magic shots. You had to go to certain places and actually specifically ask for them. Now they kind of just do them wherever they are. But yeah, I used to scope them out and try and find where you could get certain ones from. Like I wanted the Tinkerbell one and I wanted the Simba one. So yeah, we used to go hunting magic shots.
Just my system's catching up here, and Carl is so right. I'm just the Garden Grill one is so much better. So thanks, I appreciate. So I see that you have. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to get another photo up for you so everybody can see. So I love this one as well. This is like my favourite one of you guys. Yeah. So the last trip you went was November and December, but you've obviously been during sort of Mickey's Not So Scary. So when do you think is like the best period to go? You've probably obviously been at lots of different points in the year.
It all depends. I mean, we say that one of our favourite times to go is May during Flower and Garden at Epcot. I think that's our favourite Epcot festival that we've ever been to. But we love Halloween. It was 2018 was the first time we'd ever been over Halloween. And we timed it specifically so that we could do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, but then we could do Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party in the same trip. And the Halloween, I think, it was amazing. We absolutely loved.
I'd pick Halloween over Christmas.
Yeah, over if you were choosing like one extra party to do, we definitely do Mickey's Not So Scary again. Just the amount we brought back in candy was it paid for the tickets, really.
Probably not on Halloween now. The Halloween on a Saturday night was absolutely.
It was manic, but it was still so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I would love. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago when I had Evie and Freddie, my kids on. We said that's the time that we would like to go the most, over like the Halloween and then going into the Christmas period, or even, I mean, even sort of like late November into December as well, just to kind of, but definitely catching those two, really to catch those two. No, they're not parades, are they? There's the kind of shows, you know what I mean? Parties.
The transformation from Halloween. Bear in mind, we were there Halloween day, 31st of October, for the party, and we left about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We went into the Magic Kingdom the next day,
and it was Christmas.
And it was Christmas.
It was amazing.
The work they do to change it from Halloween to Christmas overnight.
It literally is overnight. It changes. It's absolutely amazing.
That's incredible.
But again, that goes back to Disney's little tricks, doesn't it? That's a Disney thing, that it's not Halloween anymore. Halloween's finished.
Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah. Just to say, Dawn and Gary, yes, this is showing as the Disney Grown Ups now. So thank you for joining us. Carl has, hopefully this will come up on my screen very shortly. There we go. So Mickey's Not So Scary was brilliant. Between 7 of us, they bought 35 kilograms of candy. Oh my goodness.
I think we did.
I don't know if that's coming up, guys. Is it coming up? There we go. Here we go.
Yeah. We did 7.5 kilos between the two of us.
That's
in one. It's No wonder my back hurt.
Fiona's saying that it's going to be her first Halloween party this year. So do enjoy that, Fiona, and massively fingers crossed that you get to go this year. I'm sure you will by the October time. I'm waiting for that. So talking of, I've got loads of different questions too. Yeah, thanks, Claire. It's amazing that she's done the Halloween when it vanishes and then Christmas arrives. Just like, I'd love to be there. So we know that you've stayed on site and you've stayed off site. Do you have a preference at all?
Oh, on site.
Yeah,
definitely on site. I mean, I would have no issues with doing off site again if we were on a budget. Like if we just wanted to go and have a cheeky, really cheap trip, I would happily stay off site again, but only if I could drive with a car. But on site, it's just, you live in that little
the bubble,
Disney bubble, and everything's on your doorstep, and it's just nice, just so nice, so nice.
And how do you? And sorry, what resorts have you stayed at on site?
So we've only stayed in All Star Resorts Music. We stayed in, and we stayed in Port Orleans Riverside.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I need to ask you, which was your favourite?
Oh, Port Orleans Riverside was amazing. It's such a beautiful resort,
especially the mansion side.
Yeah, the Magnolia Bend side is just gorgeous.
And do you have a resort that is like a must do for you guys?
Oh, I want to stay at all of them. Like, I'd love to just tick them all off my list. But I mean, one of our big dreams has always been Beach Club.
Yeah,
hasn't it? That's a dream that may very well soon come true. We'll just have to wait and see.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. So if you just park that for a moment, that'd be awesome. But you know, we talked to lots of our guests in the past, and you know, you learn so much from your trips as you do them. And I know for me, it's slightly different from now I'm a travel agent, so I have to be very careful what I say here. But you know, I think from the outset we always kind of booked ourselves with somebody like Travel City Direct, and then we kind of got brave and kind of started to book everything separately to try and save a bit of money. Not that I'm saying that does, as a travel agent, I'm not saying it does save you a bit of money. Just to put that in there. But how do you normally book? Now is it still through like an agent, or do you look to try and do things separately?
We've done both, haven't we? I mean, when we first started, we always booked with Virgin Holidays, and then we have booked it all separately. I think at the moment, with everything going on in the world, I would always advise people to book with a travel agent, just because you have that extra level of kind of coverage.
And it's one phone call to
sort out everything, whereas trying to phone 3, 4, 5 different people to get the same thing sorted. We tend to book now direct with Disney. That's what we've done on the past couple of trips, isn't it? I don't quite know why. They seem to have been coming up slightly cheaper than going through someone like Virgin.
Yeah, well, because you had the dining, and you could book it out sooner with.
You get all
Disney.
That with Virgin. You know, I tend to do a lot of the booking, so. But you know, we tend to just price match between places and see what comes up cheapest. Yeah. Is how we do it.
Yeah. So other than using an agent now, do you have any kind of hints and tips for people who are looking to maybe book their first holiday?
I think if it's your first time, I would advise you to speak to someone rather than doing it all straight over the internet. I would, suggest phoning up a reputable travel agent like Lewis, who knows what he's talking about, and really going through what you want to do. Because I know I've got a friend at the moment who's looking at doing their first trip, and bless him, he's on the phone to me every 5 minutes because he hasn't got a clue what he's doing or what to expect. So you know, I know times have changed now. You don't really have as many travel agents that you can just go and walk into and have a chat, but I would say speaking to someone either face to face on the phone, you're going to get a better deal.
And someone who knows Disney, especially now because it is so complicated.
Yeah.
You know, your ADRs, your park passes, you can't book. It's not booking a holiday like when we first went.
Yeah. You can't just book and turn up.
Yeah.
I would always say talk to someone now who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, of course, I 100% agree with you. So thank you so much for that. And your great adventures. Anyway, moving on. Just just to say, Claire said that she always books with a travel agent. That's definitely the way to go at the moment. And Gary and Dawn said they've always booked things separately themselves, but we're definitely using an agent now. Yeah, I think it's particularly at this time, it's really, really best to do that. To make sure you've got all the financial protection behind you. I'm seeing too many stories. I was talking to somebody yesterday on the Get Binky, Do What Makes You Happy Facebook group, who had booked flights only with TUI, wanted to cancel for July. They haven't been cancelled yet, and he's just going to lose all his money because you just don't get there was no deposit or anything like that. So just be very, very wary. I'm going to stop talking about that now. Insane. They love Riverside. Wrong one. Dell has said that they love the Polly. So different things out there, and yeah,
that's a lottery win, though, isn't it? That's a lottery win.
Yeah, especially the bungalows over the water. That they're just ridiculous amounts of money, but or theme park rooms are also. User, I think I know who you are. It says we have booked with Lewis and will continue to do so. I think that might be Ed. Hoping that's Ed. So thank you. Dell has also D with me, and they have, and I do appreciate the love and support, guys. I really do appreciate it. I will talk about the sign in a moment. I will definitely. Let's just go through some more of your pictures because I've got a few. This is something that I would also love to do. Jack Skellington, like, you know, not having the also just say Sandy Claus. So
that was the Christmas party, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Christmas party.
Yeah. So what was the Christmas party like for you?
I think the first year we did it wrong. One thing I kind of always say to people now when they ask me about dessert parties is don't do a dessert party on a party night. So you can do the options of having like a dessert party at a Mickey's Not So Scary or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party. I would say don't do that because it takes up a lot of your time and it's not worth the money on top of the money that you've already paid for the party. So yeah, we missed out on a lot of stuff the first time we did it.
Yeah, because I think we ran to see him at the party opening.
Yeah.
Then went straight to the dessert party.
And then just caught the second parade, and we missed out. I don't think we did any rides that night.
No.
I think we got one cookie, which was just a fail.
But they're all the same cookies that
year. They were all the same cookies that year. They weren't different. So the next time we did it, we kind of were a bit more savvy. But yeah, with any party, I always say if you want to do a meet and greet like Jack and Sally or Sandy Claus or the Seven Dwarfs, which are kind of like the big ones, as soon as it opens and you can get in at 4, head to that meet and greet, because else you're going to miss most of the party by doing that meet and greet. I mean, when we did it this year, I think we were in the queue about 5.
Yeah.
And we were out. It was a long queue, but we were out just as the full party started at 7. So we didn't actually miss any of our party by waiting for a meet and greet. So that's a little tip for you there.
Yeah, nice one. Thank you.
Yeah, you can only pick one character. Otherwise, it's
yeah,
done,
pick one big one that you want to meet, and then hope you can get round to some more during the night.
That's great advice. Yeah, I've never done any of the parties, so I'm not able to comment on that. So that's awesome advice for people who are going to any of the parties. One of the things that I did recall you mentioning was that you've never complained at Disney except for a dessert party at Magic Kingdom. Can you just enlighten us as to what happened there, and maybe that's something that you might have learned from that to kind of maybe help people not make the same mistakes, or was it just not your fault?
Well, the dessert parties are pricey as they are. I mean, the Happily Ever After dessert party is about $80 per person.
But it's not. It wasn't a dessert party as such. Was
no,
it?
the problem was where we were sat
For Wishes.
Because we've done the dessert party before, and where we were sat when we watched Wishes, everyone then got up and moved to the front of Tomorrowland Terrace, and you got a really amazing view of Wishes. The problem when we did it for Happily Ever After is you weren't allowed to get up from your table to go to the front of the railings, and there's lots of trees around the hub. So you're watching Happily Ever After, but you cannot see the projections on the castle, which is kind of the whole point of Happily Ever After. The fireworks, are kind of secondary to the projections during that show, which is personally why I still prefer Wishes, but, that's a different story. And yeah, we just thought we paid $160 for a plate full of tiny cakes. We didn't eat $160 worth of cakes. And we couldn't even see the full show. And I was just really disappointed because that was my first time. It was our first time ever watching Happily Ever After. And I just remember feeling really deflated by it all. And
it was just more the fact that it was sold as the fireworks party.
Which we later learned is actually a ploy. So they call it a fireworks dessert party because you can see the fireworks, but you can't actually see the show.
Right. Okay. That makes sense in a way, but that's also really shocking. And I thought that they actually took you out from the dessert party areas into special designated sites. I don't know if they do that now. They've changed it. So they do that now.
They do that. So there's 2 levels of dessert party you can book for the fireworks. There is the Tomorrowland Terrace viewing, and then there is the Plaza Gardens viewing. So for the Plaza Gardens, you go to the back end of Tomorrowland Terrace for all your cakes and your drinks and your cookies, and then when the fireworks start, they lead you out onto a kind of fenced off area of the hub. I know a few people have done that and said that is slightly better. The problem is though, everyone goes out and sits down, and then as soon as the fireworks starts, same everywhere, everyone stands up, puts their cameras up. So it's not that much better of a view. The Tomorrowland Terrace is more expensive, funnily enough, but I think you actually get a worse view.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So is it fair to say that you wouldn't recommend the desserts parties in Magic Kingdom?
I would. I probably wouldn't. I think there are better dessert parties at other parks. One that we really want to try, if it comes back, would be the Frozen Ever After dessert party that they do at Epcot. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend the ones at Magic Kingdom, to be honest. I think you get a better view standing out on Main Street.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go, folks. There's a few comments in there said that there are 2 different firework parties. So, and one has an allocated bit. One person has been saying that they've had a garden viewing, which I presume is the Plaza one. So, yeah. Well, there you go. That's no, again, really great information to share with everyone. So we're kind of coming into to land a little bit, but I just would love to know a few of your kind of overall things that you would do, little bits of hints and tips, shall we say. So I think I mentioned this to you last night to be prepared for this one, so hopefully you've thought of a couple of things other than the obvious, which is passports, money, and we're going to say now comfortable shoes. What are your 3 must-pack items?
We had to think about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
So one of the things that is for us is the citronella bands, the mosquito bands. You can get them in all over the place now, B&M. They're just like your little yellow wristbands, or you can put them on your ankles to stop the mozzies biting you. Because I had a really bad reaction one year, didn't I? Like my whole leg was in a rash from something I've been bitten by. So now we always take those. If you are from England, I always say bring your own tea bags, because American tea is not fabulous. And then we couldn't decide on the last one, so I'm going to give you 4 because we couldn't pick. But one of them is Crackle Cooling Foot Cream and Foot Spray, which is like, we got it from Avon. And you just kind of spray it on your feet at the end of a long park day, and it all crackles, and you rub it in, and it just cools your feet down instantly. So that's a really good one. And then for us, we have a USB hub. So it's like you can plug it in, and it's got about 6 or 7 different USB ports in it. So especially for vloggers, or if you take a lot of electronics on holiday, it is a godsend, because you can have like 8 things charging at the same time. It's brilliant.
Yeah. That's a great idea, actually, because I mean, I said last night, I was so pleased when Jamie said a 4-way adapter or something like that, because that's like literally the first thing that I would add to after like my normal stuff. I would add a 4-way adapter, but now we use everything just with USB ports. It's probably just as easy to have one of those there. So that's really, really good. Some of the things that are coming in, obviously, sketches. People say top things to pack. Compede, always. Oh, there we go. It's that one. Compede. Catch up, please. Computer. There we go. Gary and Gary always gets bitten. Yes. So, are you fortunate, Rich? You don't get bitten?
Yeah, I don't.
They aim for me. I must just be so sweet.
I'm not going to comment, but indeed. So, how serious are you? How serious are you when it comes to Space Ranger spin?
Oh, we've nearly been divorced because of Space Ranger spin. We take it, so any of the shoot 'em up games, we are so serious. It's such a competition, and someone is still bitter that he is not a galactic hero, and I am.
Well,
the one time she's beaten me.
So, have you managed anywhere near the top score?
You haven't.
No.
Yes,
galactic hero right here.
No. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, yeah. Sorry. So that's the 999,999.
Yep.
Yeah.
She cheats.
I think this is the last. Do you watch all the vlogs on how to get the highest score?
No.
I never have. I just don't need to. I'm better than her. But when I'm being really off, she turns the thing round.
Well, This is my final photo of you guys, and I think it's another one of my favourites. Mickey's been very cool there, and so I'm gonna end our conversation there. But before I let you go, I have to do our quick fire 10 random questions, kind of would you rather round, if that's okay.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay, so just get us back on the normal. I'm going to, and hopefully that will. Oh, hello, are you still there? Great. Okay. Hopefully you can still. Hopefully you can still see me. It's going a bit wrong here, but there you go. Fine. Just a quick fire round then, guys. It's kind of a would you rather. So, first question, it's always the same to everybody. It's would you rather spend your holiday at Walt Disney World or Universal Studios?
Walt Disney World. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Would you rather fly British Airways or Virgin Atlantic?
Ooh.
I'd say BA after our last few
Yeah,
flights.
British Airways. I feel bad saying that, but yeah, British Airways. Never thought I'd say that.
That's gonna be controversial, that one, I tell you. Okay. This is where we get to the nitty-gritty. You can save one of these shows. The other one is going in the dustbin. Would you save Happily Ever After or Fantasmic?
Oh, Fantasmic. I don't even have to think.
There's a lot of people that love Happily Ever After, so there you go. Would you rather go to Pandora or the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at night?
At night.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I think.
I don't think we've ever done it.
Why?
I mean, we like Pandora. I love Pandora. You know, he doesn't. He thinks it's overrated. I love Pandora, but I am a massive, massive Harry Potter fan. So if I can pick to choose time in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I'm going to go for that. I'm not that big a fan of Avatar.
It was a weird IP to put in there, but it kind of works, I guess. But
doesn't belong there.
Can I just? No, well, no. I get you. Can I just show you this with regard to the BA Virgin question? Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Hang on. That's not it. There you go. There you go. Right. I think I know the answer to this question as well. Would you eat Dole Whip for the whole of your stay, or a Mickey pretzel, or the Mickey pretzels?
Mickey pretzel. I cannot stand Dole Whips. I don't like pineapple.
So there's a split there, definitely. Would you rather ride Spaceship Earth or Space Mountain with the lights on?
Ooh, probably Space Mountain.
I think Spaceship Earth with the lights on.
No, because them mannequins are creepy enough without having the lights on. So no, I'll go Space Mountain. Thank you.
Okay. Are you concurring that, Rich, or are you going the other way?
Maybe because I've seen Space Mountain with lights on when you go round.
Yeah, but to be in it, that's a roller coaster nerd thing, isn't it? We all like to be in the dark roller coasters when the lights are on. That's what we live for.
Well, I've never had the pleasure of either, but I do like the idea of Spaceship Earth being at the top with the lights on and just sort of wondering what's around that area. Whether it's just Yeah.
That would be
Whether it's just a sheer drop underneath you or not. No, I don't know if it'll be quite good or not. But there you go. Would you rather ride Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey or Tower of Terror?
Tower of Terror.
10 times in a row.
Tower of Terror.
Oh, I can't choose. They're two of my favourite things.
I wouldn't survive Forbidden Journey 10 times.
No, but I love it. I'm going to go Forbidden Journey. I love that ride. It's so different to anything else.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Vicky. I'd probably go with that. I love Tower of Terror, but there's something about Forbidden Journey that is absolutely awesome. Would you rather spend? I should quantify this question. You're on your way to Magic Kingdom. Would you rather spend the day on the monorail or the ferry boat? So you can't actually get to Magic Kingdom. You just got to spend the day on the monorail or the ferry boat.
Ferry boat.
Yeah, I'd probably say ferry boat. I don't know how many times I could listen to that monorail announcement without going insane.
Fair enough. I do like the ferry boat as well, but I just don't love the queuing after the fireworks there. It's or either of them really, but it's not good. Okay, now you can tell that I've watched some of your vlogs by this question. Would you rather walk the parks barefoot all day or wear a poncho all day?
I'd probably say wear a poncho, even though I detest ponchos. I'm not walking in all that ice cream that them kids have dropped. So yeah, I'd say wear a poncho. The shame of it.
My feet by the trainers and everything else on.
Yeah, it was I didn't know how really to kind of make you go there, but I think that was the only way I could do it. So but some people are saying they'd rather go barefoot, quite frankly.
It's a close
one. It's a hard one. I hate ponchos. They're the devil's work.
Right, very last question. What are you most looking forward to in attraction wise? Are you most looking forward to Rise of the Resistance or the Velocicoaster?
Velocicoaster.
I think Velocicoaster. Only because we've seen that one. I'm still not 100% sure what the Rise of the new one's going to be. But yeah, Velocicoaster looks amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, you have been absolutely fabulous this evening. Before you go, I know you've got a trip booked for the future. So would you just like to let us know what you're planning to do and how excited you are for it?
Oh, it's a big announcement because not a lot of people know this.
Yeah.
You don't have.
We were supposed to be going in September 2020. We were going to be staying at Coronado Springs for 8 nights and then doing a 4-night Disney Bahamian cruise. We obviously cancelled that because of COVID, and we moved it to September 2021, where we were going to be doing an 8-night at Animal Kingdom Lodge and then doing a 4-night Bahamian cruise. We have now moved that again for many reasons, not just COVID. There's been a few reasons. And we have now moved it to January 2022.
But the Animal Kingdom Lodge is closed.
Yes, the Animal Kingdom Lodge was no longer available because it is shut. So we are now staying at Beach Club and doing a 4-night Bahamian cruise. I'm so excited.
That just sounds like an awesome trip. Yeah. So, hey, I'm 100% sure that you're going to be getting there this time. So I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope that you may come back on and tell us all about it when you come back. Yeah, so thank you guys so very much. It's been a great night, and we've been talking for like an hour and 15 minutes, would you believe?
Oh, wow.
And people are still with us, so that's awesome. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us. It's been the comments before you go, just to see. yeah, people are saying that sounds in trip. Sorry, my system's still cleaning up. Thank you, guys. Lovely to get to know you, and I'll leave the other bits because that's irrelevant. Gary and Dora saying that you're in. Dell is saying that's great news. It sounds like a brilliant trip, I must say. And Claire is also saying, what a totally fantastic trip. So, guys, thank you so much. You have been incredible tonight, and really, I've had a great time getting to know you too. So, thank you so much for being with me tonight. And yeah, if people want to, I've got to give you this opportunity. If people want to get to know you a bit more, how do they connect with you?
So we're on YouTube. If you just search Tinker Tales, we should come up. We're also on social media. So on Twitter, it is at Tinker_Tales. And on Instagram, we are Tinker_Tales 2018. And you can follow Rich on social media. He's got his own little Tinker Tales account now.
I'm allowed now.
Which is
Tinker_Tales_Rich.
Awesome. Well, make sure everybody that's watching, I'm sure a lot of people already do, but if you don't, please go and subscribe to their YouTube channel and connect with the guys, and you will learn so much from them. And thank you once again, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been a great evening. No, it's a pleasure. So I'm going to let you go. Bye.
Bye.
Well, what a great evening that has been. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. I need to do a few little shout outs now. So forgive me for looking down at my page. It was mentioned in the comments, and I really need to say a massive thanks to Ed Weiner Ponsford at Ed's Carousel of Crafting. I love that name, for my Your Great Adventures framed print, light up framed print, which is here. You probably can't see it so well. I'm going to go grab it quickly. So here it is. I absolutely love it. So Ed, thank you so much for doing that for me. Really appreciate it. That was very unprofessional of me going away. If you get the opportunity, guys, if you haven't already, please do get over to the Get Binky Do What Makes You Happy at Florida group. Tomorrow night at 7:30, there is this going on. It is the Disney Parks Quiz and Rockstar Bingo double header. Now, exclusively to Get Binky, and thanks to Rockstar Bingo, there is a 2-week stay in the lovely our Disney Place condo up for grabs, and there's a competition going on all year long, and in December I believe you can get into the playoffs with the opportunity to be the overall champion and win these 2 weeks. And there's 2 opportunities to win tomorrow, one with the quiz and one with the Rockstar Bingo. So do check that out. Also, if you do love listening to everything Florida based and Disney based, do check out the Do What Makes You Disney podcast, where I'm going to do 3 UK Disney dads chat everything Disney related, and yes, I am one of them. So they come out every Saturday, and that's with Danny Perrin and Andy Wilson, and it's available on all good podcast platforms and also on YouTube now. You can watch us as well, so do check that out. I think that's it, really. So thank you all for staying with us and listening. And if you want to contact me and you would like to be on the show, please do get in contact. It would be a pleasure to chat to you. And if you want to ask any questions of me, please do check out or get in contact with get in contact at yourfloridaadventures@gmail.com. That would be great. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Your Florida Adventures channel, that would be awesome. I'd love for you to do that. And you can also check out the Your Florida Adventures Facebook page. And as I've mentioned, I am owner of Your Great Adventures Travel Planning, and I would be honored if you are going or thinking about going to Florida in the next couple of years. I'd just be honored to have the opportunity to have a chat to you about it and quote for you. It's no obligation, and I'm part of the Hayes group, so it's fully habitat protected and ATOL habitat bonded and ATOL protected. That's the right way to say it. And so I'd love that opportunity to have a chat with you and quote you and create your holiday for you. Golly, I need to write this down. Now, next week is going to be slightly different, and I hope he's okay with this because we talked about this the other day. But we are going to be doing a kind of a Q&A Florida chat, and it's going to be with Del from Get Binky. He was Del and Jen were my very first guests, and so we are going to just have an opportunity to have a break from the conversations that we've been having and just have a general no bars hold, whatever it is, conversation with Del and myself. So if you've got any questions for us, you want to talk about Florida in any way, please do check us out next week. So that's it from me. A fabulous week, and yeah, thank you so much for sticking around, and look forward to seeing you next week. Happy